Uh,
Ooh, before that, though.
does anyone want to recap for us real quick? A little last time on Avatar? So we're all on the same page?
And his robot, and a shit fell from the sky, and we were all dying a bunch. We were scrambling. Sydney, you died a lot. Just constantly were dying last time.
Yes.
Well, we got
exactly what happened.
him. Right? That was Avatar, right?
I think that was the other time slot. You know, it's when they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have this thing," and then they don't tell you that they changed the time of the show, and then the other one gets canceled because it's like, "Oh, it didn't do well," and it's like, "You didn't tell anybody that it moved."
I know.
Let's see. There, 4 people got a message to say, "Hey, go to this meeting in the center of the capital of the world." Sorry, I'm terrible with the lore. I don't remember the names of things.
Republic
And
City.
Republic City, and then 4 kind of kids, kind of adults, late teens, early 20s people showed up. Some for legitimate reasons, others maybe not so. But in any case, it doesn't matter who was invited and who wasn't. The point is, everybody was there, and then they got sent on a mission to go deal with some bandits. And so they went on this mission. Also, there was rumors that there was a bloodbender involved with these bandits. And we all set off on adventure. We went to go track down these bandits. And we learned that there was more to the story than original. It's not just that, like, these are some no-good bandits who are trying to steal some stuff from everyday folk. These are people who are disrupting a factory that is basically making machines that would replace workers, which opened up all sorts of ethical dilemmas. And then we talked about them for a little bit, and then we decided to, we broke into the factory, and I think that's where we learned more about what was actually going on. And then after that, we decided to go find the bandits, I believe, and when we were trying to go search for them, they found us, and they ambushed us. And then we're like, hey, that's not cool, and then we tried to fight a little bit, and I don't remember exactly how it ended.
Well, you fought a little bit. You fought amazingly because your airbender kind of blew everyone away.
No, the fight was over before it began.
And then, as you guys thought you had the upper hand, this dude comes out with even more reinforcements. And that's where we're going to pick up. Because he looks at all of you. And he clearly has a commanding voice, stands tall over everybody else, looks down at all of you from the top of this hill, and you can see the water swirling around him. So he's clearly controlling the water without doing any stances as a waterbender. Looks down at you all and says, "Who are you?"
We're representatives of Republic City and Councilman Sokka. We're here to help, I think.
You're here to help.
Yeah, but the question is, who are you?
I am Atka, leader of these people. And you're here to help by doing what exactly?
Kicking butt.
I think we're still figuring that part out, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, it seems like you all are just sort of the lapdogs of the army if you're coming here and fighting us. Give me one reason why we shouldn't kick your asses back to town.
because we've got the ear of Sokka himself. And if you've got problems, then you're talking to the right guys.
Yeah, is Sokka here?
No, but it's the next best thing.
He sent us personally.
Yeah.
Do you have any official documents, anything? Are you even law
We have
enforcement?
the invitation letters, right?
We have letters.
Stole documents from the thing, so those are also kind of official.
So you're a bunch of kids who was sent off by somebody who's not even in charge of this region.
I mean, when you put it that way, yes. But it's Sokka. I mean, he's like, you know, with the whole council of, like, the whole world. So, if you're looking for problem solving, he's your guy.
Yeah, I don't think he can help us here.
We're also not just coming out here to attack you or anything. We want to know what's going on. We would like to understand what has caused this conflict. And if you would be happy to relay that information, that would be really great.
Really?
Because they've painted you to be quite a villain. I don't know if you know.
Oh, they say a lot of different things about me. But I mean, have you seen the
Yeah,
army
you-
surrounding the factory? I think maybe you were looking in the wrong direction.
Any truth to any of those rumors?
Which ones?
Damn it. You know, the rumors.
You know the ones.
That one in particular I want you to talk about specifically, so I don't have to bring it up and you be like, yeah, I absolutely am.
You know,
Obviously.
if you say it, he gonna do it. That's how that's gonna work, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
You hear some murmuring from like the people around because I think everybody knows what you're getting at in the crowd.
Alright.
Can we use
Listen,
food?
I just think I think we all might have gotten off the wrong foot here. We're just, as my come friendry has just told me, is we are just here on behalf of Republican City, and we are here to kind of get a lay of the land to see what is going on, to make sure nothing crazy happens. And now, yes, we are aware there is an army standing by, and tensions are quite high now, but it seems to me like maybe y'all haven't gotten the right fair shake of things. Maybe you got some, some grievances, some things you want to air. Eh, never mind. But things we want to talk about. So, why don't we just, why don't we everybody put your weapons down and we'll make a little fire. Share break some bread and all that, and let's go from there.
Right,
Does it
PR
be-
can fix this situation.
Because it wouldn't be great if we didn't return in one piece. Just in like a friendly way of saying.
Go ahead and make me a plead roll, which is harmony.
I have harmony.
Oh, good.
I'm good at this.
Let's see. Would you do anything?
You roll a
It's
2d6
just-
and add your harmony.
Alright.
Okay, a 9. So, that is a hit. It is not a strong hit, but still a hit. Usually that means that the NPC requires a little something more to trust you all. So, his addendum to that is, fine, we can sit down and talk, but you all will have to be bound.
To secrecy?
No, your hands.
smash cut to.
That being said, unless anybody doesn't consent to it.
No.
I'm a little skeptical, but I think I see that this is the only way we're getting through this, so I just kind of tentatively put my hands out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I resort to my confidence in my own fists if need be.
So, they do bind your hands, and you are all taken a little bit further into the forest to the actual bandit hideout itself. It is very temporary looking. It looks like all of the buildings that they have are just slabs of wood propped up and basically fancy looking lean-tos so that they can actually move it whenever they need to. They've made a very mobile operation. It looks like there's a fair amount of people that are here, so it's not just like a pocketed thing. It looks like maybe about like a third of the population of the town might be involved in whatever this is. But he...
Are we talking, like women, children, and everything here too? Like, are we talking like a range, or are these all adults?
Yeah, you do see families here. You see women, children. You do see essentially the workers that were working at the factory that have since left seem to have taken up arms, because you do see they're either armed or clearly have some sort of bending prowess. Most of them have a bending prowess, but you know their families came with them, probably because they didn't want to be taken hostage. So yeah, they take you into the center of the village, and he will sit down on a tree stump around a fire, and you all are sat down on a log opposite him. And so he says, look around you. I mean, you can see what we're dealing with here. We decided to leave because they weren't taking care of us anymore.
And by that you mean getting rid of y'all's jobs, correct?
Yeah.
So, leaving's one thing, but why are you attacking them now?
We've heard some rumors about what those factories are turning into. They're not just making machines.
Yeah,
What
we
is
saw
it?
something about that on the news, in the paper. We broke into the factory.
Would you expoundorate on what rumors you may have heard?
Well, there's only one reason why the army is so heavily invested in a factory that's making machines. We think that they're going to start making weapons.
Like machine weapons?
Apparently. I mean, I'm not an engineer, but I know some of the people here used to be. I'm not entirely sure what they were, but it don't make sense.
Do you think anyone here would be able to tell if they had, say, a blueprint?
Do you have a blueprint?
Hypothetically speaking, if we were to have a blueprint, I mean, could you do something with that?
We could probably definitely tell what they're going to be making.
Actually, not hypothetically, probably. So,
I move my bound hands to, I don't know, my pocket or my pack, and I'm like, oh, one second.
Oh, help her out.
And, and I pull out one. I don't know how many I grabbed. I guess just like a handful, and I pull out one. The one that I like started to tear as soon as we got out into the woods, and everyone was like, "No!" What about this?
So he'll gesture over for somebody to come and take that, and you see as a couple of older gentlemen start looking over them, and like their faces go between like shock and understanding of what it is, and they whisper in his ear, and he's like, "So they are making weapons." They laid out the papers. They say that this is some sort of projectile weapon. It doesn't need fire bending. It doesn't need any sort of bending to operate anybody at all. You just point it where you want, and it throws a projectile at alarming speeds, ripping through anything.
Oh.
And which nation is this again that's developing this weapon? We're in the Earth Nation right now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I could understand to a degree. I mean, gosh, I mean, the Fire Nation was just wiping out everybody. Like, it makes sense that they'd want some kind of defense against something like that happening again.
Is it for defense, though? I mean, it all seems kind of shady. Does Republic City want to know about this? If they're secretly stockpiling weapons and calling in the army to defend it?
I think we gotta take this to the council. Sokka will know if this is legit or if this is like sneaky under the radar.
I mean, it's probably definitely under the radar. You telling me any other nation would be okay with this?
Probably
I
not.
don't know international politics. I don't know what they would do.
You do all look a little young. Well, let me give you a little history
Doug
lesson.
wouldn't know shit. Doug definitely wouldn't know anything because he never paid attention to anybody when they were teaching him all the things he was supposed to be learning.
I heard this, and I
don't
believe
know
you.
who Doug is, but have you all heard of
You
the
don't
Harmony?
need to know Doug. Doug can't help you.
You've all have heard of the Harmony Restoration movement, right? You're not that far displaced from society.
Just say hypothetically, I mean, one of us was.
This guy didn't know that the Avatar was dead.
Hey, you can't just throw that around. I don't know if you heard, by the way.
Like somebody like way back is like, what?
Sorry.
So he'll go through and explain how after the war, the Earth Nation was like, y'all need to leave. You're in the Earth Kingdom. And people are like, we've been here for years. And then that got really, really heated. And so, you know, it was on the verge of essentially almost civil war in this continent, between the people that had settled here and become essentially Earth Nation people, just de facto. And clearly, the Earth Kingdom is still trying to position itself in a position of power because they realize they have lost a lot of power over time. Even the fact that Republic City was technically built on top of a Earth Nation village.
That
So,
explain Old Boy's grandstanding the way he thought that Sokka wasn't being hard enough on this endeavor, I think. He wants to reclaim that ish.
you can tell, you can look around here. There are people from all walks of life. And you've seen the forces that are here are not just Earthbenders, but people from the Fire Nation, people with long-standing traditions in the Water Tribes. Even the person in front of you is a Water Tribe. Like, clearly you can see there are features there. They might not be 100% Water Tribe, though.
So y'all saying that these weapons are to set things right as they were for the Earth Nation by giving back the land, by taking it vis-a-vis violence?
It wouldn't be the first time they tried. At least this time they don't have to rely on benders to do their work.
I mean, that does feel provocative in the most aggressive sense. Not much less for defense.
I agree. Which is why I think we need to shut down this factory.
I actually agree with that a little bit.
But shutting down the factory would cause problem given the whole army situation that is there currently.
Well, look around you. These people don't have anything else. Yeah, I think like at this point, like you're noticing they have armaments and everything, They're very clearly ready to get into a large fight, whether or not that's a good or bad thing.
I'm not saying you shouldn't fight. Gotten in plenty of tussles in my day too, but optically speaking, you guys don't have the best PR right now. Did I say that right? PR?
PR.
That's how people react to what you're doing. And it might look bad if a bunch of people out in the woods attack the Earth buddies with their armor and their badges and their fancy paper with words on it.
Well, what do you suggest we do?
We tried having a conversation. I don't want to immediately switch a person.
Oh yeah, I'll just walk right into the army camp and have a talk with their very highly fortified leaders.
Well, you know that my suggestion is just going to be, let's go tell Sokka. He'll know what to do.
I think if we wait any longer, they're gonna start rolling through and burning down the forest to find us.
Oh.
Do you have any plans for your
Yeah.
attack? Or were you just gonna go in blazing? I mean, you have quite the number with you, but they might have more. They certainly have more firepower or machine power.
I'll say, what if they got some of these machines at the ready?
Well, you could see he's kind of at a loss there, and he's not entirely sure what to say.
I mean,
Now-
if it's... No, you go ahead.
Hear me out for a second. I'm no political thinker by any means, but I do like stories. And this does remind me of a certain story that goes back in the Fire Nation, where there's this factory going on, and it's making all these kind of gross pollutants down into the city, and it's making them all, it's gross, and the fish is all weird. There's like, and he's like a bunch of different guys, but he's still the same guy, you know? It was a big part of the story is that there was this one guy kept showing up everywhere doing all the jobs. Anywho, you know, outright attacking that factory was kind of difficult. That is, until the magical Lady of the Lake arrived. See, when it's one nation picking fights with other nations, it gets all icky and political and messy. But spirits, ain't nobody got claim on spirits. Except for maybe the Avatar, which, by the way, if you didn't know. Anywho, our spirit guide isn't here currently, so there's no one really here to verify if the spirits are mad or not.
I
That
mean,
is to say, if a spirit were to get mad, might be difficult to litigate.
Oh, I think I heard a story one time about Sokka's sister pretending to be a spirit.
Nah, that,
We could-
that sounds something like else.
We could do that too.
you want to pretend to be a spirit?
Not it.
I don't know.
Maybe
How-
the great spirit of the Mud Mountain is mad that you're causing all this kind of tomfoolery. And now it's mud or dud.
Good.
The great
So-
spirit of the Mud Mountain couldn't even cast mud earlier. So.
I'm just a little
It's
confused
character
here.
needs to be Southern.
Do you want us to make a mud mountain spirit?
No! No, nobody's saying that. Maybe the spirit part, less the mud. But
It may be easy to convince them that the spirits in the natural world are upset with their focus on machines and their replacement of the gifts tied to the spirit world.
But are they gonna care? Because, the more I'm thinking about these guys, and if they're building weapons, then there's one thing I do relate to with them, is that they just want to kick butt. And I don't know if they're gonna care about the spirits, if what's spiriting them is the spirit of kicking butt.
And capitalism.
So you're saying a fight is inevitable?
Probably, but I do kind of like the idea of some sort of trick so that we can get somebody in and maybe destroy the factory while they're dealing with it.
Well, and better yet, take the heat off you guys so they don't come trying to kill you later.
See, it wasn't you guys who wrecked the factory. It was the spirit.
The mud
And we
spirit.
have our own air acolyte here who's very spiritual and be like, y'all have disrupted the spirits. They are angry. I can verify that.
Uh-huh.
I like this idea. So you all would make the
A hole
spirit.
in the side of the factory, so I mean, it's not.
The factory already has like 2 holes in it.
You put holes in the. Well, that could help. So
Yes.
if you all make the spirit, we could send some people in, rig it up, and it'll just go kaboom.
I guess that's one option. I like it better than an all-out fight because,
Are we sure we can't just have a conversation?
keeps y'all guys safe.
Did we already try a conversation?
Between like this guy and like their guy, but like, no, that's a stupid idea. Let's just blow it up. You're right.
Yeah, I think these guys are just gonna want to kick butt. So let's go have them chasing an imaginary spirit.
I mean,
I
I
think-
think between your mud bending and my hot air style, we could make a pretty fierce-looking spirit. Maybe we've got some benders on your side that could help soup it up, make a big old muddy
You
something
make the
mud
mud
mountain.
spirit from Spirit Way. Can we do that guy?
Okay. I don't remember that.
He's actually like the spirit of a river, but he rolls it and he's just got like trash inside of him.
Oh, okay. I remember him. And then he
Yeah.
spits out the trash and then he's like, oh.
Yeah, and then he like leaves gold all over the place.
So what
Okay.
we gotta do is get a whole bunch of trash, and then you'll just collect up that trash with the mud,
The
Or
mud
bre-
and
And
the
then-
air.
and then we'll have just some kind of shambling mound of trash and mud and dirt.
Mud.
Or better yet, we have pieces
We did it.
of the machines that we took from the raids on their convoys. Could use that instead of the trash.
Yeah. Why that's
Then,
mad about
Like
the
the
stuff.
earth reclaimed them.
I like it.
I'm warming up to Mud Mountain God. I'm warming up to it. I'm not gonna lie.
With you bending and her mud bending, y'all could make a pretty convincing mud monster.
It's
And I could be there in the trees giving you guys some extra help.
And I could throw my boomerang at anybody who comes close to finding out our plan.
And I'll keep watch.
I think you
Okay.
can also kick butt, honestly, if you want to.
Rio, you could
What?
lead people into the factory where we made holes and make sure it gets blown up right.
Yeah.
Like close to where the explosion's gonna happen.
They gotta make sure it takes down the factory, right?
Okay. I just didn't think I would be doing that specific part, but I can.
Oh no, I was thinking y'all go over to like the mayor and be like, look, a spirit! This is clearly its demands. It does not like this factory. I bet if that spirit didn't like the factory, it would blow up right now. And then Rio, your thing would do it, and then it would blow up, and it's like, well, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
I think if I lie with enough passion, I can lie pretty well.
Okay.
If I lie with enough harmony.
So,
That's a spirit guide.
just to see on a couple of things here, Richard, do you have something for like formulating a plan? I thought you might have.
I mainly have things for punching and hurting things.
Okay.
Let's see. I have assess the situation. Let me see what's in my passion category.
I thought you might have, but I couldn't remember because I know there are some techniques in your playbook that are very much the like planning of Sokka type thing.
I have assess a situation.
Nah, that's more in the moment.
I'm looking at all my moves and features. Would this be under techniques or something else?
No, it would just be under moves.
Then
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you have stand and fight and walls can't hold me. Those are the ones you took.
yeah,
Okay. Just wanted to check.
yeah.
So he's going to make a gesture. They untie you guys. And he's going to say, I suggest we plan for the night, rest, and do this first thing in the morning. If you need any
Sounds
support from the people here, feel free to ask. And I'm going to let you guys sort of like make the plan for this of what you want to do. You do have the support of all the people here, a lot of which are benders. So for the purposes of like what you want to do, you can scale it up considerably. Because I know the idea
Yeah,
is
kind
to
of what
make
I was
a...
thinking was kind of like the vine bending guy, where he was
Mhm.
like in the thing. It's like if we have Sid and this guy, basically like Pacific Rim kaiju
Jaegering
You
it.
Jaegering it between like mud and water, I feel like. And then if we have other benders around there to kind of help support, sell that,
Okay.
that idea.
Well,
And
you
then,
do...
the rest of us will be around to like kind of help facilitate evacuating people and blowing up the factory.
Okay. Yeah, I think for the purposes of the plan that you have to make that, you guys are going to have the prepared status. So you'll get a +1 to the rolls regarding the actual trick because you're planned for this. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're here in the village? Things you want to ask? Things you want to take a look at or talk between each other?
Who has the
that's-
best?
That work.
What's
I
that?
was just thinking, who has the best creativity? I have a +1 because trick is under creativity.
+1 for me too.
+0.
Okay. If I could combine somehow and intimidate with the trick, then I can use my passion, which might help.
I think it'll roll down to maybe how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I could be a part of the mud bending trick other than to just call people over and
Well, part of this is like spreading the word of what it might be. So that's a big part of it. Because otherwise, it's just a big mud monster, and it might not
Yeah.
have any.
Well, +1's better than nothing. It's not too much different than a +2. So, yeah, I think if I was to scope out anything, could would this be an assess the situation roll? I remember I did this once last time where it's like I can ask the DM, where in the city could I find either a tavern or something else where I could find the most gullible or drunk or stupid people? Like,
Okay.
where could I find people to trick the easiest?
You want to do that here in the camp?
No, I would do that later. So I guess
Gotcha.
there's nothing else in the camp. But yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to do in the camp?
Do we have a backup plan?
We
no.
go and fight.
Do we have a backup plan that we resort to before that backup plan?
I don't
Nothing?
think
Okay,
there's
I just wanted to make
anything.
sure.
I don't think there's anything left for them. He said they'll torch the forest, right?
I mean, the backup. If this doesn't work, we got to go back to Sokka and tell him what's going on because it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes down to it too, we might have to fight right here. I mean, I don't exactly think that, just fighting alone's gonna solve this, but if we can do anything to at least stall for time so we can get to Sokka, I don't want them burning the forest down. Sokka would never approve of that, I know that
right?
much.
That might anger the real spirits.
Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we get them to anger the real spirits.
No.
It's the mayor running it, right?
I think.
It's his money, it's his dime, it's
His people.
his idea, his people.
If a trick is a part of my intimidation, how would that work? Because I was thinking about, is there anything I could do
I think it's
to go like tell him a tale about I saw this spirit in a dream, and it says that it's coming for us if we don't do something.
I think it's about the intention. Like, if you're just trying to deceive someone, it would be trick. If you're trying to put fear in them, I would see that as intimidation.
Okay. Yeah, he'd like to lean into the intimidation part to be like, if you don't stop this right now, terrible things are going to happen to you. There's going to be a spirit that's coming after you, like that kind of stuff. So it'd be great to like not even have to use the trick, right? Like, it seems unlikely, but if there's any chance to intimidate him into at least holding back for now, that would still be a win, and then we wouldn't have to gamble on the trick actually working.
I think in that situation, I think maybe the spirit itself would turn, like having the thing they're attacking would turn it into intimidate, because then you're
Okay.
giving context to this big thing that's looming and coming towards them. Whereas just telling him that you had a dream about it would be more of a trick.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to do?
I would like to speak to Melody. I'm sorry, I forget your character's name.
Yin.
Yin. I'd like to speak to Yin before we call tonight. Listen, Yin, I know I volunteered you for a spirit interpreting duty tomorrow, but
Interpreting.
yeah, that's what I said. And but I do know that airfolk, they are supposed to be spiritual and stuff, right?
Yeah, very.
Can you like see spirits, talk to them and stuff?
Well, my understanding is that's pretty rare. I can't remember. Does Tenzin have that ability in Legend of Korra?
I don't
Wasn't
think
it
so,
like-
specifically because it's his kid that sees the
Right.
spirits, and he has trouble with believing her, I think.
Right.
I think his whole
So-
hang up is that like he was bad at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So not even Master Tenzin can do that. I mean, I've tried. I've sat in on his meditation practices. I've followed his techniques that he learned directly from his father. And my gosh, everyone knows that Avatar Aang could do it, but it's difficult. You can be very spiritual and never truly see or touch a spirit.
Listen, I mean, you saw how good I was earlier. I mean, I'm pretty good at nearly getting you killed and causing a whole lot of ruckus
Yes,
with
both
my
of
bending.
those.
But when it comes to the more delicate stuff, it's a little trickier. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, you're a better airbender than I am.
You. I mean, it's technically not true, but thank you.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, we got some time. Do you think? I know we're doing a spirit prank tomorrow, but like, you think there's any chance we could maybe, I don't know, talk to one, see if they can give us some help or something?
Well, we could try. It's never worked before, but maybe the spirit energy is stronger here. Maybe they really are upset. Maybe they'd be willing to talk to us. I can show you how we can attempt it.
All right, what do we gotta do?
Okay. First, you're on the right track. You gotta shake out all the tension. Just relax your body. And then I show him how to, like, sit, legs crossed on the ground, and, have your hands together.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes some practice, but you'll get more flexible. It's fine. And you close your eyes and pay attention to all the sensations around you. The noise or the sound of the breeze, the grass beneath you. Just let all the sensations of nature come through your body. Don't think about any one thing too much. Just let your energy flow with the spirit world energy around you. Death. That's...
I think I was almost there. I think I was in the spirit world.
Really? Were you?
I think I almost made. Is it dark?
No.
Oh,
I've
Then I
never
don't
been
think I-
there.
okay.
But I don't think you're supposed to snore.
I think that was meditating. I don't think that was snoring.
I've meditated something like thousands of times. That's not... I think you were sleeping.
Maybe that's
I've
just my
seen
language.
it. I've seen it in the lazier acolytes. You're not dedicated. You need to be dedicated.
All right. Let's try
Don't
again.
be a Doug.
I am not a Doug.
You are not a Doug.
Yin, I'm gonna ask you to roll a guide and comfort real quick.
Ooh, what would
So
that
that's a
be?
harmony.
Is that still 2d6?
Yes, it's all 2d6. It just changes what you're rolling with. So an 8. Okay, so that is a hit. So Ryan, in this moment, I'm gonna say if you embrace her teachings, you maybe can get a glimpse into the spirit realm. Because
Yes.
even though Yin hasn't done it, she has learned how to do it. But something naturally in you, because of how well she has actually guided you toward this, I'll let you take that. If you do take it, though, you're going to have to shift one towards heritage on your balance.
Okay, so that'll take me back to middle. That'll take me back to center.
Even better, probably.
So I'm shifting over. Because, yeah, my head was that Zeph is like an airhead, obviously, but he is, in some weird kind of stoner way, pretty spiritual, like connected to the land in that sense. He just has no guidance when it comes to that.
So I would say you try again one more time because, you generally want this. And as you sit there, like, she may think that you drift off to sleep again, but there's no snoring. In your mind, you are transported, however briefly, into this strange aspect of the spirit world, which I don't have backdrop for it, but if you don't know, it's like all sorts of purples and oranges from what I remember. It's like a color shifted world. And
Is the Ghibli spirit world or is the terrifying Airbender spirit world?
definitely the terrifying airbending spirit world.
No!
But there's some truth to all the things that you guys have been saying, because as you go in there, it's not a mud monster, but you do get this vision of the mountain itself that's surrounding you, that has the forest built on it, that has the factory sitting in the middle of it. And you can see, it's almost like seeing into the mind of the mountain, and you watch as it like raises a giant fist and crushes the factory in front of it. That's like what it wants. And then you're sucked right back out into your world where you jolt upright.
You just see Yin like head tilted, being like, "Are you sleeping?"
No. I think I actually knew that time.
Really? Like really, really?
I think so. It was like colorful, but scary, and abstract, and all metaphorical, and the mountain. The mountain's pissed. The mountain's mad.
What?
So
Because of the factory?
I think so. I think so. I think he wants us to. I think he wants to smash it.
So we're doing the right thing.
At least to the mountain. I mean, yeah. He was mighty fierce. Or her. I didn't get a chance to ask.
I thought you were gonna be like, I didn't get a chance to check.
I would never.
So
Wait,
that's
hold
good.
up. So are we supposed to be going off of this guidance from what could have just been a dream? He could have just dozed off again.
No, he wasn't snoring. I even did a little snap. Nothing. I think you did it. And
I did it.
I give him a quick hug.
I guess if
I'm doing airbender stuff.
I guess if Sokka could have kissed the moon, I guess this is possible too.
Lots of things are more possible. We're doing the right thing. We're on the side of the actual spirits.
Yeah, let's just hope that the spirits know that, because they looked mad.
Well, they must. They showed you.
The thing is that the mountain was not too, not nuanced about it. He was pretty,
Very
So,
clear.
but
Did the mountain look like mud by any chance?
did the mountain look like mud?
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a mountain. It looked like trees and rock.
Looked like
It was
trees
more
and
like the
rock.
stone.
making it look like mud.
It was more like the stone and trees and rock variety.
Can we throw in some branches and some rock into this mud?
Why not? Why not?
Are you also there for this?
I don't know. Am I?
Is Sid also there?
I feel
for
like
this?
me and Rachel would like off the side, just be like, yeah, totally. Like they were meditating, and we're just over in the corner watching, like piping
Yeah.
up every so often.
Like eating a snack.
Yeah, like I don't care. Add bricks to it. Whatever. You want to put a kid in there? Sure.
No. Yin draws the line
Go
at
big.
tossing a child.
Go big with it.
I just think that if we're gonna try to trick him, we should make it look like the mountain spirit as much as possible. And hey, maybe if we're lucky, it'll honor the mountain spirit, and then the mountain spirit will just take over from there.
Who can say?
The mayor. No, nobody on that one. All right, that's fine. Yeah.
What
so
about the mayor?
mountain and I was nothing. Nothing.
Sorry,
I
think
we
but
should
I
go
only
kick
said
the mayor's
like
butt?
mayor.
Yeah, I really only heard the mayor.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you feel about killing the bear?
You mean ending the mayor, because we can't say that word.
Oh yeah, we're unalive the mayor.
That sounds a bit extreme, but I'd totally be up for kicking his butt.
Because it's his money, right? It's his money funding this whole thing. So like, push comes to shove. But like, maybe, yeah, let's try the thing first, and hopefully the spirits don't get mad at us. I don't know.
It's a good point, though. Do we have just an audience of one, or do we have like a whole army to scare? Because right now, if we could get by with an audience of one, that'd be a heck of a lot easier.
So when you guys
It's
came
his money
in,
funding the thing.
you were introduced to the one captain that's basically running the people that are here. And then the mayor's not necessarily running the army. He's just bankrolling the factory. But like most armies, they're just sort of doing what their leader tells them to do. So, you know.
I think that's our target of who we should be intimidating.
The mayor or the army?
The mayor tried intimidating a whole army. Unless it's an army full of Dougs.
You seem very ambitious. I don't know what you would want to do.
Oh, I would love to intimidate and kick a whole army's butt, but it's just the four of us and some bandits. And as much as I hate to say it, I don't want to see anyone die.
Even
No, we
Doug.
should.
I'd be fine with, well, no, I just want to humiliate him. I don't want to kill him.
I feel like we've seen some
I-
growth this day.
I just want to put him in his place is all.
I always assumed that was the ground for you.
It, you know what, it very well might be, but I'm gonna leave that up to other. I don't have murder in my heart. I have
Any
limits.
techniques or anything?
I think we should focus on taking down the factory first and foremost. Maybe that solves everything. That's clearly what the mountain spirit wants us to do. It didn't show murdering anyone, it showed smashing the factory.
Didn't the guys say something about if we go doing this little ruse that they could take the factory while we're doing that?
They were going to rig it to blow.
Yeah. So we
The
just gotta
factory.
create the distraction.
More or less.
Well, I guess the
I
question
also
then is,
Gotta make sure the right people are looking. Gotta make it happen at the same time. Explode, fake spirit, done. Hope.
yeah.
Also
So
have to imagine that soldiers, I mean, when they're fighting for their kin, that's one thing. You know, for their home. Right now, they're fighting for a building. They may not be looking to throw down with an earth spirit.
that's a really good point.
Very well.
And also,
That's
so
very
I guess that
solid.
changes the question, or goes back to my original question of who is our audience here. So if our whole goal is to distract, who are we distracting? A bunch of guards? How many guards? We gotta do some recon.
Well, you have seen the encampment around the town. It's like
Mhm.
it almost surrounds the whole town.
And they're all like within distance of like if something's happening with the factory, they're gonna be there lickety split.
The vast majority of them, there was like a bigger pocket of them that were near the factory, and then
Mhm.
it trailed off along the rest of the border.
Oh boy, we got a lot of people to trick then, but I think it's the best plan we got.
The only plan we got.
And who knows? Maybe the mountain will help us out.
That's what I'm saying. If we honor him enough, maybe, or honor it, them.
He
I
didn't
don't
get a
know.
chance to check.
I don't want to give you too much because there are actual like techniques regarding spirit bending which you don't have. So but maybe something to seek out in the future if we ever do more of this.
All right. Well, where do
is
we
there-
go from here?
Is there anything else you guys want to do this night before you get some rest?
I feel like Yin has not done her chi blocking probably in years, so she's just gonna practice some precision strikes on a tree trunk, just to brush up.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, wasn't one of these guys a bloodbender?
There is that loose thread hanging in the air.
We haven't
Yeah.
encountered it yet.
Or did we? And
You-
we just didn't talk
He
about
wouldn't
it.
confirm that it was true, and I didn't want to supply him with the rumor for him to say that it was true, so I just let it hang out. I didn't bother. We could probably ask him right now, though, because we're not totally against him at this point. Hey! I'm gonna go ask. I'm just gonna go ask.
Oh,
Hey!
God.
No. Hi.
Yes, can I help you?
Hey, yeah, Bloodbender, you? No, yes?
Is that how you actually say it?
Feel like I said it that way, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it.
Roll me a push your luck. So that's a passion roll.
That is a good use of that.
Guess who doesn't have any of that? Do. Guess who has 0 of that? It's me.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
me.
So it's a hit. You do it, but it costs you to scrape by, is what it says. I get to tell you what it costs. So
I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I'm mostly just nervous. So sorry.
he moves a little closer to you and stares you down
Oh,
a
no.
little bit. It's a little menacing. And he doesn't tell you outright, but what he says is, I would do anything that I needed to do to keep my people safe. And what it costs you is I'm going to give you the condition afraid when it comes to any role regarding him. Because in your mind, you're like, oh, he is a bloodbender. And then he walks away from you.
100%. Have a good night. Hey guys.
Yeah?
Guys, I think he's a bloodbender.
What?
It's him?
I think he
Oh.
almost killed me. I don't know.
Did he bend your blood?
I felt like my my heart seemed to be a little bit. I felt cold. I felt very cold.
That might have been him bloodbended.
Has anyone
He
ever
might.
been blood bent before? Does anyone know what it feels like?
No, but
I just got it. Yes.
Sokka's sister spoke really negatively of it, though.
He has a name.
Who?
Yeah.
Who? What's her name?
Foremost waterbender in the world.
I wish there was a role that I could make you do. Is like, yeah, do you remember her name?
What's that name?
Do you even know her
You
name?
know, Missy.
She's the goddaughter of the most powerful waterbender in the north.
Aren't you from the south? Where
She's the
she's
world.
from?
Yeah.
She's the mother of the Air Nation.
She's the mother of my hero.
Literally came back there after Aang died.
Mrs. Avatar's wife.
She was the
Come
Avatar's
on, even
wife?
I know her name. Even I know.
What's What's her name, Ryu?
Oh no, I can suddenly not think about it.
Is there an opposite to guide and comfort?
He completely freezes
Badger
up
and
as
bully.
Just bully.
Saki.
Oof.
Her
Good
name
night,
is Sokka's
everyone.
sister.
I just make this like angry little pout, like a child who's just cutely mad. No. Just no.
I almost
Anyways,
feel like
the point being, she said that bloodbending was like a morally bad thing to do, and she was super uncomfy with it. She was telling other waterbenders, so I hear.
Bet you remember their names.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jason, Kelly,
Daryl.
yeah, I know all those guys.
Chuck.
She definitely told Doug.
I like how we both went to Jason, by the way.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Bill
No.
Penguin's playing Jason.
Jason's my next character now.
So,
So far we have Doug and Jason.
Yeah.
Oh man.
so you got bloodbent, you think?
Katara! Shit! I got it. I got it.
I can't tell if that was you or your character.
No, that was me. I was like, this whole time I was like, oh,
I kept on wanting to say Korra, and at some point I remembered it was Katara, but it was way too late, so I'm like, I'm just rolling with this bit.
Jesus.
I didn't realize you actually didn't remember.
No, I actually didn't remember. I like I said, I'm terrible with names.
Anyway.
So anyway, Sokka's older sister said.
Melody can
Younger.
back me up on this. Whenever I'm watching a show, I'm like, hey, it's and I just name the actor, not the character. I can never remember the characters' names.
You either name the actor or you point out some defining feature. Like, is that Freckles?
Yeah, exactly.
I do the same thing. I'm like, it's eyebrows, eyebrows.
Yep.
Natalie's like, that's famed Broadway actor, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, eyebrows.
Yeah.
Oh, who I'm talking about? Leave it alone. So we confirmed that.
Okay,
I
I don't know if
feel-
that changes anything other than sure would like to avoid needing to do the bloodbending bit.
Yeah.
Let's continue to go all in on this mud monster trickery mountain spirit thing.
Let's do it.
Okay. Just I'm gonna ask one more time if there's anything else. If not, we will probably, I think, good time to take a little bio break, or is it too early for that?
I think this is a good spot for.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well then, we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back and get started with the plan in the morning.
Woohoo.
So, morning comes. You watch as everybody starts mobilizing around, and Atka is leading them like troops. You watch as the people that are staying behind already start to pack up the base, move big slabs onto carts and everything, so that this place, wherever it is going to be in a different spot the next day, or hopefully they all get to return by the end of the day. Who knows what happens today? And you all travel a little bit up the mountain to get an idea of what you're looking at from above. So just to remind you all, if I go to the village, it's laid out like this, where there is quite a bit of the village surrounded by these rock formations. And then right at the top of it is where the factory would be, which is also where the main encampment of all the soldiers is. So your plan currently is to make that big mud monster. What direction do you want it to come from? And where do you want to position all the people that are going to be helping you make it this giant scale?
That's a good question.
Maybe from the top of the mountain to imply that it is of the mountain.
Mountain. Yeah.
Okay. So then presumably, Ryuzaki, is it Ryuzaki and Yin who are going to convince the people that are there that it's the mountain being angry?
I think
Yep.
so.
Okay.
Non-benders. Our power is lie.
Well, one of you is a non-bender.
I'm also a non-bender.
Oh, I thought you were a firebender. My bad. Okay.
No, I'm Fire Nation origin, but non-bender.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and are you guys coming into town earlier than all of this? Are you going to miraculously appear at the right time? What is your plan?
I want to time it out just right so we can run out of the forest from the mountain. Just like, oh god!
Oh, okay. So almost as if you're like running away from it.
I think so.
Okay. Well, then I guess we need to roll to see how this thing is going to look as you form it. So go ahead so I'm assuming Lila is like leading the charge to actually make said giant thing.
I suppose.
Okay. Then we'll have you roll right after this. But what is Zephyr doing to help make this thing bigger, badder, all that stuff?
I guess what I was thinking, well, two things specifically. I know I failed that check to throw Yin on the roof, and it damaged my trusty talisman.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to take the morning to, like, wherever that was splintered to kind of, like, throw some bandages on there to kind of...
Yeah, I think you would
Patch
be
that
able
up.
to do that. Yeah.
And then what I was thinking is, if I could maybe like make a poncho with like it looks like a lot of pine trees
Mhm.
in the trees, and just like kind of make myself blend into the trees and the foliage as best as possible, so I
Okay.
can like kind of jump from branch to branch. And I mean, I can't exactly excel that I'm a mountain, but I can give them a strong wind at their back to help them move. I guess what also I could be doing is, if earthbenders are throwing rocks and stuff back, I could be pushing in the opposite direction, so like give you guys a tailwind and make their earthbending at least harder.
Okay. So you're gonna be. I'm gonna say you're going to be giving this the help action. So go ahead and mark 1 fatigue, but
Okay.
this will give Lila an extra +1. So when you are going to make a rely on your skills and training roll, but you are going to get a +1 from Zephyr. You're also going to get another +1 from having the prepared status.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead and roll me rely on skills and training, which is a focus
Hey, so that's
with +2
total.
on top of whatever you have.
So
I have inspiration and everything, right? Is that right?
Well then. I will say this is a rising success. This is above anything on this board. So I'm just going to let you describe what this thing looks like as it comes down the mountain.
Thank you. So not so much that I want it to look exactly like the thing from Spirited Away, but in very similar, like it is an undulating kind of moving mass that looks really unpredictable. Like it's like not so much running as it is like sloughing through the thicket as it emerges from the woods. I do like the idea of it having like fragments of some of that machinery like kind of poking through every so often. Like if it makes like one big move in particular, like the skeletal remains of a construct like shows just ever so briefly before it gets like swarmed by all that muck. And yeah, if I could have like bridges and rock in there too, that would be sick. But yeah, like maybe it's got like kind of like a bestial like face at the front, like clawed arms or something. Maybe like I don't know. I didn't expect to get this far. Who knows?
So you do that. You make this thing. It is big and angry looking. And it looks like the mountain itself is coming alive. So this is going to do well for the two that come running down. To Rio and Yin, you make it close to the encampment and you can see the soldiers are panicking. If you take a second to look back, you might even be panicking a little because it looks real. Probably realer than you could have imagined. So there is a certifiable chaos going around this early morning.
Yeah. I'd like to use the passion of shitting in my pants.
Okay.
Like, oh shit, that's... in my mind, I'm like, oh man, maybe they got the real thing! And, so I'm just gonna run around and borrowing inspiration from just sharing Ryan's dream, as well as just going on with the plan and shouting. They're like, oh my god, the mountain spirit's angry. I'm totally on board with machinery, but the mountain spirit, like we gotta shut this down at least for a while till the Republic City can figure out what's going on here.
Okay.
He's basically gonna be like, we gotta stop everything. We gotta the mountain spirit's gonna be really pissed. I wouldn't be surprised if it started attacking the factory first.
So I will say, you do gather the attention of the two people in charge here. The captain is trying to get his men, together. They are panicking and he is struggling to get them in one spot. But he does look at you saying this and he's a little confused because, he's angry. That's just his normal state of being. I'm going to say you're going to have to make two rolls here. Because the captain is more skeptical, so he will need to be a trick. The mayor, however, is panicking and running around. He's definitely an intimidate because he's already very impressionable.
Okay.
Yeah. Yin, what are you doing during this?
I'm mostly following his lead and just sort of being like, oh, yeah, mountain spirit, it's so scary, but like more convincing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think neither of us quite have the passion in us right now to deliver what the character would be delivering.
That's fair. Do you guys want to split your which person you're targeting?
A help action. What does that give?
Yeah, so the help would give the other person +1. You mark 1 fatigue to do it. You don't really roll anything for it.
Oh, speaking of fatigue, did that reset overnight?
Yes,
or-
sorry about that. After the rest, your fatigue would have been cleared.
Awesome, because I had 3.
The only thing
Well-
that would be staying is for Lila the afraid condition regarding Atka, but only to rolls against him.
My trick is +1 and my intimidate is +2. Would it make sense for you to give me +1 to each of those and take 2 fatigue, or would you want to not take fatigue or split the difference? Like, what do you want to do?
Let me see. Trick is creativity, which I have +0. Intimidate is passion, which I just have +1. What did you say
Okay.
yours was?
+1 and +2, so I have 1 higher than you for each
Okay.
one.
So I think, would it just make more sense for me to help you?
Yeah, the only issue is that it costs you a fatigue for each one.
Oh, okay. So we're rolling both. It's not we choose one or the other.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take on 2 fatigue in case we do other fatiguing things. So how about
does the help have to be before we roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, no. It does not, because you can do that. It says you can do it after the roll. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So let's just see how it goes, and if we're like right on the cusp, then maybe if you
Okay.
need to if you need to help me, then do it. Okay.
go.
All right. So here goes the trick.
Okay, so this is towards the captain. This is a 9, so it will be a
That's
hit.
pretty good.
Yeah. So they will fall for it in the moment. That being said, his initial response to this is maybe not what you were expecting, because you see actual fear in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the fight or flight response, his reaction is fight.
Shit. He likes to beat people up like I do.
It's less he likes it and more the panic.
It's just in his nature. That's what he does.
So you see him run off toward the direction of the camp that you haven't visited because it's in the middle. You're not entirely sure what he's up to.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and keep going to intimidate the mayor, or do you guys want to follow him?
we could split.
Split the party.
Split the party. It always goes well.
Okay.
I'm gonna intimidate the fuck out of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. He drops his clipboard. There is pure panic. His hands go up in the air. He goes, "You get out of the factory, I don't care." And then he proceeds to turn tail and run all the way down the city center. Yeah, you were gonna say something?
Did anybody hear him say shut down the factory or anything else? Because I would definitely be following up with like, you gotta get the citizens you gotta get them to know to shut it down, otherwise we're all gonna die.
Oh, I think that's a pretty good given, because he runs directly through the middle of town. You watch as people, like, both in noticing the monster and leaving, but as he's running away, the people who were working there take this as a sign of, okay, abandoned ship. They're leaving out of it in droves. The real kicker is the stream of mud he leaves behind as he runs away, which shows you just how effective this has been.
Alrighty. Well, I see this as a complete win, but I'm not the one who went chasing after the general.
Yeah, so, Yin, we cut away to you trailing after the general, who has gone into a tent right before you. And within a flash, he goes in and out from the front of it rolls out a cannon. Just a large, big-ass cannon, because they've managed to get something off of the production line. Now, the Fire Nation does have these. You recognize this probably in the stories and just from your heritage and everything, but it's always required a firebender to set the charge and guide their fire. But you watch as he rolls in a thing, lights a match, and there's a wick at the back of it. This doesn't need anything to run.
Oh, snap.
So he'll get off one, unless you want to do something, but he's about to light it. You know what these things do.
Yeah. Can I, like, throw something to like, either knock the match out of his hand or, like, redirect the cannon? Just, like, knock it aside. Cannon's probably too heavy.
Okay, but how are you going to do it? That's going to be the deciding factor of what this is.
Well, I like to think that she's been very good at precision throughout her life. Like, when she does have to fight, she likes precision throwables, like daggers, throwing stars. So she might take, like, a big rock or something and try to throw it.
Okay.
And I think the best bet would be to knock the match out of his hand.
So it sounds like, because it sounds like relying on skills and training. So go ahead and roll me with a focus. So 2d6 plus
no.
focus.
Well, minus focus.
Oh no. Okay. Hey, that's a pretty good success. So you throw something with a good amount of heft to it, hitting the front of the cannon, and in his panic, like, he's doing this right off the bat, he will set it off, but you watch as there's a deafening boom, and it shoots out whatever its ammunition is. However, the aim is totally thrown off, and everybody can see, including the people that are in charge of this thing. Everybody can see this projectile zoom past the fake spirit. It doesn't hit it, but everybody is acutely aware that something just happened that was real big. You do watch, those of you that can see the populace, there are some people with, like, PTSD moments of, like, oh god, it's happening again type thing. Because this is still in people's minds. You know, the Fire Nation was ruthless. But after he misses his shot, he looks over at you.
I hide.
Okay. I would say if you do want to hide before he is able to see you, that may be
Yes,
a push
please.
your luck.
I don't know what that is, but that's fine.
So that's a passion roll.
Oh boy.
If only we had someone good at passion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yo!
What do you know?
So he looks in your direction. You have conveniently hid behind, like, the one tent. And he almost looks like he's out for blood. So he starts to stalk
Okay.
around the camp. What is everyone else doing? At this point, the factory is definitely cleared out. So presumably the group that was going to move in and plant the charges is now doing that. What is everybody else going to be doing?
I think I gotta, like, do I gotta focus on Mud Monster this whole time? Like, I do, right? Like, this is my baby right now.
I don't think you need to. You did the initial thing of it, and there are other earthbenders that are, like, keeping it going. So if you
Okay.
want to do something else, they can hold it.
I think I want to make sure that people has been out, even if it's like, let me check surrounding, like, areas and buildings just to, like, make sure it's all cleared. So I'll probably go from Mud Monster to making sure everybody's out.
Okay.
Not knowing how that whole thing resolved other than a cannon fired off, I think I would probably run out to where I saw the general run off to.
Okay. So you're going after that direction at least. So where Yin and the general were?
Yeah, so chances are if he's looking around for somebody, he's gonna find me.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a second. What about Zephyr?
I think it might be a little unrealistic to say that Zeph could make an air current strong enough to not block, but throw off cannon fire. I'm guessing that'll just punch right through. But I do want to, I want to make, sell this thing that this is a force of nature. And, I think he takes his shepherd's crook and he just starts, doing big spins and trying to get this, a big wind vortex around the mud monster. So even if it's not, if it helps block or throw off the cannon fire even a little bit, or anyone trying to run up on there, it's an intimidating force of nature coming down this mountain right now.
Okay.
Like an eye of the storm.
Go ahead and roll me an intimidate. So that would be a passion roll.
I have a neutral passion.
Okay.
Every time.
But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, making something that big. I mean, the Tailwind was a lot as a single airbender. So making something that would surround this, I mean, it is a large thing that they have created because it's multiple earthbenders. You're just not quite at that stage yet.
That's fair.
Is there anything else you want to do once you realize you can't really make something that big?
I'm just going to keep moving in line with them, using the tree lines and trying to kind of just Naruto jump across and keep up with them so I can dive in there and help if people need be.
Okay. Well then, I think we will cut to Richard Ryazaki running into this general who, when he sees you, he looks a little rabid. And he points his finger at you and demands from you, "What the hell is going on?"
I'm doubling down on my intimidation. Be like, I told you what's happening. The freaking mountain spirit is coming down on us. He's gonna kill all of us if we don't go right now. You gotta move. And since I've seen the cannon go off, I'm gonna be like, cannons can't stop a freaking mountain spirit. We gotta move now, or we're all gonna die.
Yeah, I'll let you roll with intimidate against him because his cannon failed, even though it was blocked off. And yeah, most of everyone else has run away at this point. So they're okay. So yeah, that fight or flight response, it dies down a little bit. He looks back at the thing and he realizes it's not worth trying to fight it. And he is going to actually flee as well. I was going to have you fight them, but didn't need to resolve it with combat there.
We Scooby-Doo this shit.
Yep.
And as he runs away, you watch as the factory up at the top is definitely clear. Everybody's out of the area. There is a glorious just explosion up at the top of this hill. As the factory goes up in a bright, bright flame. What do you all do upon seeing that?
All right, bought us some time. Let's go make sure no blood bending's happening. And then we'll report back to Sokka.
Before we do that, I want to go see if I can somehow take the cannon out of commission, just in case.
Okay.
Like, pull all the wick out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, it's not hard to. I mean, after the shot, I mean, like it would need to be prepped for another shot, but like you can maybe knock the wheels off of it so that it's really hard to move this thing because it's a big cast iron piece of something.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just
Could
kick
also
the wheels off.
you could also give it a ton of gunpowder and then seal the lid.
Make
the
it a pipe
nozzle
bomb.
and just detonate it.
That sounds very Is this like around where the people are?
People have generally abandoned this post. He was like kind of once he goes out, everybody that was loyal to him has left as well.
Okay, well, if it's not gonna hurt anybody, then I guess I turn to Ryuzaki and say, we have to make sure he can't use it again. And I go and I try making it a little bomb.
Okay. Kaboom for a second time. There's nothing really to roll here. You're not in any dire circumstances. There's not really a rush to it. You do destroy their stockpile that they had. It was admittedly small. They were making these machines for a reason. So there are not too many cannons to get rid of, and they're all roughly around the same area. So those are fairly easy to destroy and take care of.
Cool.
So with a successful destruction of everything, in the aftermath, the rebels essentially start taking stock of what's actually left behind in the army camp. What do you all do?
I feel like we were able to do this, but that mayor guy's out there. He still has his plans. I feel like we should, either find him or make sure he doesn't just start up somewhere else. I'm not saying we, unalive him, but, can't let this keep happening.
I'd rather not do all this again.
His house is near here, I assume, yes? And one could probably maybe assume that there's perhaps maybe like a treasury or like a money vault. And maybe that money gets passed out to the people or something.
I was about to say, welcome back, Andrew. But I don't hate that.
I'm not opposed to the mayor, but also I'm not super opposed to finding his wealth and passing it out to the people that were deeply affected by what this whole thing did.
Yeah, I
Or at
mean,
least
the
depriving him of it.
people have suffered a lot. If we could give them something back, help them get started again, I think that'd be great.
Then we burn it to the ground.
I don't know if the other people are gonna suddenly profit off of all of this, then, well, that could end up coming back to haunt them. There's not assurances that they're gonna be safe and, be prosperous in the long term. I think, now hold on, let me finish. I think we go to Sokka and let him sort all this out.
Isn't Sokka like
That's
days
awesome.
away?
Well, yeah, but we stopped the immediate threat, so now there's enough time to figure things out.
I guess,
me
but
out.
what if the mayor gets away?
I mean, he's
I don't
supposed to be a legitimate
Probably.
businessman, right? Like, you think he's just gonna go into hiding?
I
we
think
could
he's-
probably leave the rebels to hunt that guy down, to be honest. I think they'd love that.
You do seem pretty eager.
Well, that said, I do think we should check out the mayor's place. He may have plans for other operations like this. So, at the very least, we can see where he might be heading next.
And then we can take that information to Sokka.
Yeah.
But I do like the socialism idea you had.
I do too.
So are you guys
Somebody's
going?
not doing any good in his vault.
So general consensus going to the mayor's house?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you all make your way towards the mayor's house. This is the interior, but as you make your way up to the front door of it, you all notice that there is a suspicious brown trail that leads up into the front doors.
Wow, was that you?
No, it was no. It's
Why does that much smell so bad?
it's
But-
poop, Zeph. You are a country bumpkin. You should
Oh,
know.
That's not mud. And I
The-
would know I am the country pumpkin.
With this amount, I don't think he's okay. I think he's
The-
having a serious problem.
He was constipated. We actually helped him out, maybe.
I mean, yeah, he's had a really bad day. This is all adding up to me.
The other thing that you all notice, however, is the fact that the doors are wide open. And not just wide open, but splintered open inward.
Oh no.
Imprint of
Where's
him,
here?
like,
Not quite.
I think Atka's here. So that's not good.
let's go in.
All right.
Okay.
You
I
go
moved to
in.
the back. I moved to the back of this room.
No,
I'm not about to be bloodbended.
don't kill him. Come back.
No, stop.
You guys go in, and you do see the image of a few of the. Oh, let me get them. Where are they? Oh my god. There we go. So there is a group of. If I can make this bigger at all. Oh, that's why, because it's. Hold on. Let me turn off the grid. I don't know why it has a grid on it, because it's messing up everything. There we go. Grid off.
You grid-
So, there is two groups here of the bandits who are clearly have the same idea of redistributing wealth. As you can see, they are moving and taking the nice furnishings that are around the area. But also, you see the mayor on the floor, shriveled up, with Atka standing over him. He's clearly landed a blow or two already.
You mean like curled up, or is he shriveled up?
Oh, look,
Yeah,
curled
yeah.
up.
I was gonna say, has there been some
Okay.
blood? Has there been evidence of
I was
bloodbending
going-
going on here?
What do you do?
Knock knock. Hi, how's it going?
Stop!
You
There's
you
a
see the
little
mayor
bit.
look to you. Please help me! He's insane!
Don't do it.
This doesn't have to be the answer.
You know
Factory's gone.
what he did. He'll just build
Yeah.
another one. That's all he
That's
cares
what we're
about.
here- That's what we're here to stop.
This is
doesn't-
stopping it.
But he doesn't have to die.
Dang it.
Listen, progress is a tricky thing, right? Like it's bound to happen eventually. And this guy is he a douchebag? Yeah, but he doesn't deserve to die. Dying's an extreme take. I think maybe if you were, say, to take him to Sokka, he could maybe be like re-educated and learn the error of his ways and maybe make him part of the solution.
Or throw him in
put
jail.
put in prison for a very long time.
Prison? What laws did he break?
You see him on the floor. That's right. I didn't break any laws. I'm innocent.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're innocent. You did take over a town and force out people and criminalize them and keep all the profits for yourself.
There's got to be a crime somewhere in there. Sokka would know.
Sokka would know.
Maybe even Doug would know.
Doug wouldn't know shit.
No, what needs to happen is that we need to take him down so that no one else can get hurt. No more waiting around for the government to do something. This needs force right now. I haven't done this yet, but he is going to call out specifically Yin and Ryuzaki because force and action are one of your core beliefs. So, when somebody calls you out, an NPC can just do this. You have a couple of options. You can either agree with him and go along with it, and that's just what's going to happen, or you can deny a call out if you want. So you will roll with the opposing principle.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go.
Or sorry,
for-
you
for
roll
the-
with that principle if you want to deny.
Oh. Well, my opposing principle is forgiveness, which is what I think I'm trying to convince him of. So I think I'm gonna deny. She would not, as an heir acolyte, condone violence and killing in this. It's unnecessary here.
Okay. What would Ryuzaki do?
I guess he'll go against. He'll roll against because I think he totally agrees with like force, but he's worried about how big this kind of force of violence is going up against a technology that feels inevitable. And so he's gonna say something to the effect of like, you can try to force this all you want, but that force will be met with force back, and that will go against you. I don't have the answers. I'm just a kid. I'm not educated very well. I know how to throw boomerangs, but I do know that for something as complicated as this, maybe we just need to take a little bit of care in coming with our decision of how to deal with it.
Okay. So both of you, so Yin will roll with action. Ryuzaki has to roll with force. This is basically to see how much his words are resonating with you. Essentially, to deny him, you want to roll low on this.
Okay. And our modifier is like there's all these circles. So action
Yeah.
is the white one, whatever
Yes.
I'm at. Okay.
Yeah, wherever you at currently on your balance is where you would roll
Okay.
with that.
And I'm rolling with force, not care. Is that
Force.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a negative one to that. Okay.
Okay.
Still 2d6, okay.
Yep, 2d6. Okay.
Damn, that's low.
But that, in this case, it's a good thing. This is the one time you want to be low. So,
Okay.
on a miss, you stand strong. Clear a condition, clear one fatigue, or shift your balance, your choice.
I don't have any conditions. I don't have any fatigue. So I guess what was the last one about balance?
Yeah, shift your balance.
Shift your balance.
So your balance would actually
Okay.
go one towards care.
Then I shift my balance.
What would Yin like to do? You also get those options. You rolled low enough.
Oh, cool.
You were
Wasn't
one
sure.
under. It's a 7 or higher as a hit.
Yeah, I also don't have any conditions or fatigue, so I'll shift my balance as well
Towards forgiveness.
towards forgiveness. Okay.
Okay. So You deny him. His words fall flat on you because of the severity of the situation. You sincerely do not agree with him, even though in your heart there might have been something if the circumstances were different, but how he's doing it is wrong. So what I was going to do is, if he actually succeeded, there might have been some player versus player combat happening here. But instead, all of you are together and aligned, and he sees no choice as he looks towards all of you. Well, if you're not going to help, then you're part of the problem. So we are going.
Anakin.
We're gonna have a combat exchange here. So everybody go ahead and choose what kind of stance you want to use: defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe.
Okay. And this is under techniques.
Yes. So this is technically the first part of it, the stance move, because then we
Okay.
roll once we get to that thing, and it tells you how many techniques you can use, because you have a potential to use more than one.
Got it.
But you have to choose the stance first: defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe.
Okay.
Oh my god, where'd it go?
So in my thing where it says shift your balance away from center, that means I would go into even more towards care?
Yeah.
In
Or-
my furious assault, I get closer to care than force.
Listen,
I mean,
sometimes
if
love hurts.
in that situation, are you saying from the denying a call out?
No, this is for, well, I'm just looking at my techniques because I was looking at, do I want to do an advance and attack or something else? I just think
Gotcha.
it's funny that the way it would work out is if I'm going away from the center, then my furious assault would lead me more towards care than force.
Gotcha. Well, let me know what each of you is doing.
I think I'm going to advance and attack.
Okay.
Like, riding off of the high of, like, hey, I did this incredible thing. Like, I made this, like, monster thing that was protecting people from this other awful thing, and that was going to be my calling at one point, and we're riding off of that. Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing that, I think.
Okay.
Go ahead, do hers.
Yeah. So go ahead and you're advancing and attacking. What else is everybody
I'm
doing?
smashed.
Attack.
Advance and attack.
Yeah.
I think I
Yin.
will also be doing advance and attack.
Oh, okay. Yin, what are you gonna do?
I was gonna do defend and maneuver, but we have the strong suspicion that this guy is the bloodbender, and my chi blocking jabs are advance and attack. So I think she's gonna see that there's no this is the time for action, so I'm also gonna do advance and attack.
Okay, so everybody's advancing and attacking.
It's just like, grenade!
So the way this works is we do go in the order of the stances. So the waterbenders over here, we're going to retaliate. So they steal your stuff for their blows. Each time a foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts their balance in this exchange, inflict 1 fatigue on that foe. So we'll see. I think, I guess I should have asked who you were attacking first, because you didn't necessarily know that they were going to do that, but you can see that they are moving into a stance where if you attack them, they will retaliate. The other two are also going to do advance and attack, but the PCs roll first in combat exchanges. So, everybody roll me a 2d6 for your stance move.
Do we add anything to it?
Let's see. Since you're all doing advance and attack, this is a passion roll.
And does it matter what move we pick?
That happens after you roll this, because this determines how many techniques you can use in this particular circumstance. It's always a minimum of 1, but there's always a chance that you can do more than 1. Okay. Cindy gets a 9, Ryan gets a 7.
Oh, sorry. What am I supposed to be rolling?
So a 2d6 plus passion. Melody gets a 9. And Richard gets a 7. Okay, so Ryan and Richard, you can use one of the basic techniques. You can't use an advanced technique. For Sydney and Melody, you can use, on a 7 to 9, use one. Oh, actually, all of you got the 7 to 9. Never mind. So you can either use, all of you can either use one basic or master technique. Yeah. So anything that's basic or mastered, you can use. You can't use learned techniques.
Okay. I only see mastered or learned. I don't see any basics.
Yeah, I don't
Basics
have a
are
basic
like
either.
strike, pressure, smash. Those everybody has.
It just says mastered under it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see.
they're mastered by default. They're just
okay.
a basic technique, but they're mastered.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me know what you guys want to do with your turns and who your targets are, because you guys go first.
What the area we're in, like the floor, what's the floor made out of?
I would say stone. It is very much a like
So,
fancy one.
obviously if somebody wants to do something before, but I was going to use smash. And I can destroy or destabilize something in the environment. I really wanted to like maybe with the floor, like pull it out from under him, like destabilize him, like make him fall, stumble, break concentration, something like that.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
for it.
So you would mark 1 fatigue, and that just happens because you're doing it. I'm going to say he has the impaired status. You literally knock him off balance. He gets sort of thrown backwards onto his butt. What is everyone else going to do?
So I'm just confused real quick. I'm seeing in advanced attack you make an unbalanced impassioned strike, and then later it talks about like furious assault. You know, shift your balance away from center. Is that like your balance physically, or is this the balance in your force versus care or whatever it is?
It's your balance and force versus care. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna use my furious assault. Make an unbalanced impassioned strike become impaired due to your overwhelming passion. Shift your balance away from center and inflict conditions equal to your passion on an enemy. So I think I would like to make this guy afraid and insecure. As
Okay.
I just charge him with care.
Well, to be fair, your care is for the life of another person, right? So
No,
yeah.
it's very much like defensive. Like, I think he's actually deep down, he's scared shitless. So like, oh god, this guy could bloodbend and hurt any of my new friends. And so he immediately leaps forward and is going to do everything he can to punch or kick or whatever, use his club and try to hit him and make him feel afraid and insecure of the situation.
Does that inflict any fatigue to him directly, or just applies
it does
the?
not seem to. No, it just
Okay. Well,
just makes him.
but that is definitely going to be okay. So now he has 2 conditions and a status on him. So yeah.
Yes, and now I am slowed or off balance. Do I pick?
You're slowed or off balance. You either take after this, because all of this applies after this first exchange. So after this, you would need to mark 1 fatigue or take a -2 to all physical actions for the next combat exchange.
Okay, I'm just gonna mark 1 fatigue then.
Okay.
All right, I think think that's what I do. It doesn't hurt him, but it does make him afraid and insecure.
Cool. What is I really wish there was some sort of initiative in this, but there's not.
Melody, are you planning on doing some chi blocking?
No, I can't because it's the learned technique.
Okay. How do I know if it's a learned technique?
It
It
should
says
be
on the right.
Say it.
yeah, marked on your
There's category, then approach, then mastery, and it'll tell you if it's mastered or learned under that.
I've got mastery. So
then you can use it.
Yeah,
That's
like
all.
literally the only thing on mine that says learned is mud. So like everything else, like there's MasterCard.
Yeah, I think each of us have one learned and everything else is mastered. Like my one learned is the boomerang blow.
Yep.
I am going to do. So wait, what are you planning on doing, Ian? Because I'm.
I was planning to pressure because chi blocking would cost me a fatigue, and I'm trying to preserve that as much as possible for later. And pressure is the only one that doesn't use fatigue.
Okay.
So which approach would you want to keep him from doing next turn?
I assume advance and attack, because then it would be like we're putting him on the defensive.
How about this?
Okay.
How about I go before you on that one?
Sure.
I'm going to use Thundering Gust.
Okay.
Jab at the air around you and send it hurtling forward at incredible speed, catching even the heaviest foes and tossing them aside. Mark 2 fatigue and inflict 3 fatigue on any foes in the path of your gust. Those foes must mark an additional 2 fatigue or be flung backward and away, either into a wall or becoming stunned, or far from the fight, depending on your surroundings. So I'm trying to get this guy away from the mayor and hopefully stun him on the wall or something like that.
But
Okay.
isn't something gonna happen to you because you're inflicting fatigue?
No,
the
that would
one
be
group-
if you attack the waterbenders to the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just in general.
Nope. It doesn't say that. It says inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts your balance against you, essentially. So, yeah. So one more time, what are you doing to him? Just so I'm marking these.
Basically, I'm blasting him to the far side of the wall.
Yes.
I get 2 mark fatigued, and I inflict 3 fatigue. And I don't know who was in the way, but I imagine if it's like the dudes on this side and him and the mayor and this, I'm like just hitting him basically.
Yeah.
Not targeting the ads.
Okay. Yeah, you hit 3 fatigue. You're gonna push him back. Does it apply any statuses or conditions?
You inflict 3 fatigue on any foes in the path. Those must mark an additional 2 fatigue or be flung backward and away, either into a wall and becoming stunned or far from the fight, which I'm guessing we're indoors, so it's not like I'm knocking him off a cliff or something.
He is actually just gonna take the extra 2 fatigue as he like takes the brunt of it.
So he just took 5 fatigue.
He just took
How many
5.
does he have?
Yeah, well, you know.
NPCs
More
have
than
more
us.
than PCs, I see.
So now I would say, Melody, if you want to do your pressure, now would be a great time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna basically look at him and say, "Look, if you keep going this way, you might not make it out of this. There are better choices. You know this." And that's gonna intimidate his soul.
Okay. So in the next exchange, he can't use advance and attack.
True.
Okay.
That is my choice.
So, now we move on to the NPCs because they move after the PCs. The firebenders to the right, which no one decided to do anything about, they are going to use the overwhelm technique. They are going to strike at every combatant in reach, which is everyone because you guys are indoors. All foes engaged with the group must mark 2 fatigue or 1 condition, your choice. You can't forget the ads.
And we can each pick either 2 fatigue or 1 condition of our choice.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna get angry.
That's fair.
I'm choosing the guilty condition because she feels guilty about, you know, she's supposed to be doing peaceful things as an air acolyte, and here she is doing some violence. So she feels a little bit guilty.
Sid, do you want insecure?
I was looking at Insecure like it's my life. I'm like, please.
You do already have Afraid, so make sure you have that marked.
I do. But I do. I do.
I will take trouble,
Anxiety.
Like, this is
I
not
like that
how I
we're
thought
all
that
like-
would go.
For trading conditions.
Okay. So
That's fine.
now we do his.
Oh shit.
So he is impaired. Slowed and off balance, mark 1 fatigue or take a -2 to all physical actions. Okay, well. Oh, okay. Or choose 1 fewer technique NPCs. Interesting. So I do have to roll for his stance. I guess? No, you don't roll for NPCs, so that's
Don't roll
weird.
for NPCs, they just do things.
Yeah, I know, it's really weird.
Brand
You're
new
doing our
systems.
best. He's like, I don't gotta roll.
That's weird. Interesting. So let me look this up real quick, because it says for NPCs they use 1 fewer technique, but as far as I was aware, NPCs only use 1 technique around anyway, so I'm not entirely sure.
Get 0.
Yeah, maybe you just can't attack this turn? So 1 second, because this is the part of combat that I'm not sure about.
I think I want to attack again.
Oh, here we go. Running fight scenes. So there's fucking nothing here. I hate this.
That was my issue with Kids on Bikes. It was like, yeah, do the thing. It was like, but how am I supposed to do the thing? Can you tell me how to do the thing? And it was like, no. Figure it out.
Ah, okay. Equal to 1 plus their current balance per exchange. That's so weird. Yeah, I have to keep track of the balance of NPCs as well, which is a whole thing. Well, I mean, I feel like he was 1 further, so he'll just do 1 technique this turn instead. And he will mark a fatigue to do it.
How much more fatigue does it got?
Enough.
Fucking blasted him with 5.
Okay, so he can't do the advanced part of this technique because that would be too many. But he will do Crushing Grip of the Seas. Throw a tendril of water that wraps around a foe's limb and holds them in place. Mark 1 fatigue and inflict impaired on a foe. So he is going to mark impaired on Zephyr because you were the one who just blew him back against the wall. So you do have this tendril of water holding you in place. So you also, in the next exchange, you are off balance. Mark 1 fatigue or take a -2 to all physical actions.
I currently have 3 fatigue. So, what happens if I hit 5?
You
Pass out.
Yeah.
So I can take 1 fatigue, or what was the other one?
Or a -2 to all physical actions. So when you roll, you would take a -2.
And if you're passed out, that's like a negative infinity to physical actions.
I will take -2 then. Do I mark that somewhere? Does that say that?
You should be able to mark it as a status. It is impaired.
Doomed, impaired. Okay,
Oh, I'm in. Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
So
but I
he just shot a tentacle at me?
Yes. It's kind of holding you in place a little bit.
Ow, that smarts!
All right. So that's one exchange dealt and done with. We're going to run through another because these enemies are not going to give up. They're kind of in a corner. Unless you want to say anything and think you might be able to stop them from fighting, you have a chance in between this and the next exchange.
I think I would like to. I just don't know what I could possibly say. So I don't know what point there is in trying.
I guess I'm gonna go all in on the care front. I guess. Let me look at. This is back to moves and features, I think.
Oh, good, because I was gonna strike.
Yeah, techniques are only for the actual combat exchanges.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there a plead? Yeah.
There is a
Oh,
plead.
God, my harmony is not very good.
There is also the call someone out move if you think you might know what their principle is.
You're being a dick!
Yeah, if I was metagaming a bit more, I would have made them feel guilty, so that way they'd have a +2 to
Well,
deny a call out.
actually, didn't somebody inflict guilty on him?
No, I think that was Melody who took guilt.
Oh yeah, I became guilty.
No, you marked 2 conditions on him, didn't you?
No, I did. I made him afraid and insecure, but not guilty.
Afraid and insecure. Got it.
Let's see. So, being afraid, he takes -2 to intimidate, but it doesn't help me intimidate him, even if he's already afraid. It's kind of weird how that works.
I will actually looking at this. Interesting. He cannot have the afraid condition.
Oh.
What?
Can
So
I
you
switch
could-
it to guilty then?
I think
Or
yeah,
does it
I'll let
just
you do
get
that because that's
nullified?
my bad.
Okay. In that case, then I'm gonna make him feel when I was kind of furiously trying to. I don't even think he's like punching so much as like I think at first he just wanted to like push him away and like get up in his face. I guess furious assault would imply that he's also like punching or shoving and stuff like that. But with that, I think if this is technically right after that action, you know, he would. Oh,
Nope, sorry, everything froze on my end.
okay.
What did you say?
I guess I would try to call him out then. The question is he more action versus whatever's melodies is, or would it be force versus care? Maybe it's something else.
Mine is action and forgiveness, if that helps as a reference.
Action, forgiveness. So if I'm gonna call someone out, I need to speak more towards why he should forgive if I think that's what his thing is. Is that correct?
Yes, you have to say you do have to say what their principle is. You don't have to name it exactly, but you do have to get the gist of it.
Okay. I don't think it's within this guy's character to do it. Is the thing. It might need to be somebody else.
Okay.
Is it
yeah.
in mine? Did you say it was a harmony thing?
Plead is harmony.
Oh.
If you wanted to do a plead instead of a. I mean, I think my thing is more, you know, wanting to double down on intimidate, and I guess this guy can't be intimidated. But I think that's what's in the toolbox for Ryuzaki, is just keep on being like. I think, you know, he would try to intimidate something, saying something to the effect of like, "It's not just us here. You're surrounded, and also there's a mountain spirit out there." Well, you think you might be able to fight us in this moment, but there's an entire mountain spirit out there that you've got to fight next. Do you really think you could beat that? It's time to give it up.
I think you would have to roll with trick instead of intimidate there, because he knows there's not a real, like he was there.
Oh, he was there for when it did.
Plan this.
Yeah, he was part of the
wait,
planning.
Sorry, I had forgot that he was originally on our side.
The thing we faked, it was real. And now it's coming
Wait, no, he's gonna go with it. It's like, listen, he had a dream, and there really was a mountain spirit.
It wasn't a dream. It was more like a vision.
A vision. He had a vision.
Spirit world.
He communicated with the mountain spirit, and we have angered it by pretending to be it. And you gotta get out of here while the getting's good. No, I don't know. He wouldn't really do any of that. I think he'd just be punching him.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I think that's what he'd actually be doing. So
it's all
just
good.
forget I said all of that.
I really liked it though.
5 minutes of my life.
I'm sorry. My answer is he's not doing anything. Just gotta wait till his next turn.
Use go all in.
What is that?
Once per session, when I decide to risk everything to overcome a difficult or dangerous opponent or challenge, I can shift my balance towards risk and roll with risk. On a hit, choose 2 of these things that I can do. I can spend my hold to take 12 plus on any move in pursuit of my goal. I can become empowered for the rest of the scene. Ignore the next condition in the 2 fatigue, and if I fail, I get another, and I lose my balance towards risk no matter what it's currently on.
Wow. I mean, you could certainly try. Do you mind copy pasting that? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Risk everything to overcome a ding. Oh, wow. On a hit, choose 2. 10 plus, also clear 2 conditions. Okay. Well, go ahead and roll the 2d6 with risk.
And I shift that, which is just gonna be bad. But like, yeah. Plus 0.
Oh no. So
I'm glad I
market
didn't give
condition.
the speech that I thought of. I'm so glad I didn't do that. I can mark a condition.
Yep, market condition. You cannot clear that condition until you lose your balance, are taken out, or enough time passes. Or you can lose your balance toward risk, no matter where it currently
We're just
is.
going back to stability, babe. We're just going back towards stability. Why are we here? We just sold fruit. We could have stayed home. I wasn't thinking in my head how this man was like jeopardizing all of the lives of the people that were like tied to him, and how his actions were going to affect everybody's lives for the rest of forever. Nope, I'm scared. I'm fine.
Oh, no.
Alright.
Lose your balance is a totally other thing.
It's not just go back to center.
Oh no, lose your balance. It is saying no matter where you currently are, you are going to act as if you have gone all the way to the other side and gone off the edge.
Wow.
I'm going home.
So if it
I
shifts
want-
past that, you obsess over that principle to a degree that is not healthy for you or anyone around you. Choose one of the following. You either give in or submit to your opposition, lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way, or take an extreme action in line with the principle, then flee.
Wow.
Take the extreme action in line with the principle I have to go towards. Like, what is an extreme stability?
No. It would be
It's
extreme risk.
Oh, then I want to punch him in the fucking face.
Okay, so you lose control of yourself. I'm gonna say the only thing you can do is attack in advance, regardless.
I will do it.
That's
I
your,
wanted
like-
to anyway.
Okay.
But I was like, maybe this will work.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. So you are acting as if you have gone off kilter on the other side. You are all of the stress of your life of not being in any position to help anyone, of leaving your hometown, everything, all of that has come to this point where you thought you were helping someone and it turns out that they are beyond help and you lose it.
Done. All right. It works.
Okay. So we're definitely in combat here. Everybody choose your stance that you are going to do for this next exchange.
Advance and attack.
Yep, you have to.
Yep, advance and attack.
Okay.
Advance and attack.
Is that everyone's turn, or what? Is that our first round? I'm not sure where we are.
So
I think that was our
after
first round.
every combat exchange, the rules basically say take a moment, because you don't necessarily have to go back into combat unless there are people that are forcing you to. In which case, Sydney is actually forcing you to, because she is not ending combat. So even if
Bye.
the crazy thing is if one of you were to make a plea and it worked on him, Sydney would still attack him.
Which is why I think I should go first.
Well, I'm grappled currently with.
You're impaired,
tentacle.
yeah.
I've got 2 fatigue left. I am not long for this world. I'm gonna do the shockwave again. Basically, I'm gonna try and blow myself up to see if we can stop these guys, because that's all I got left.
Gotcha. Okay, that's an advance and attack? Or...
That is an evade and observe.
Okay, so that will go last in the turn order.
If I make it till then.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So I will say, so let's see. Because Bloodbender here cannot do advance and attack, he is going to defend and maneuver and take retaliate. So every time a foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts his balance in this exchange, you get 1 fatigue set to you. The other 2 groups are going to be part of advance and attack. So those of you who chose advance and attack, go ahead and roll me a 2d6 plus your passion.
All right, roll
Guys, you're
2d6
weird.
plus fashion.
Okay. So, Sydney, you get to choose 1 basic or master technique. Melody and Richard, you get to choose either a basic or master technique, or you can mark 1 fatigue to use a learned technique. Oh, sorry, yeah, just use 1 basic or master technique. Okay, sorry. So yes, Sydney and... Or my brain is shot already. God, sorry.
You're good.
Melody and Richard, you guys can use a basic or master technique. Sydney, on a miss, you stumble, but you can shift your balance away from center to use 1 basic technique.
A basic.
But aren't you
Where are
already
You're already
ultimately-
lost your balance. I think you have to
done.
move your center towards risk as well.
Oh man.
So even though you're acting as if you're losing your balance, your center is also shifting right now.
Okay. But I can only
So-
do basic now. Oh man.
So the center didn't shift before, even though she's acting as if she lost her
Yes.
balance. Okay.
Yeah. She's basically just super unstable. It's like
like my option is to do this basic thing and then be like goodbye and then leave.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess my basic is plead.
No, it would be either strike, pressure, or smash.
Oh, okay, because those were showing up as like. I think the techniques show up funny. In
Yeah.
that case, I want to strike his face.
Okay. Cool.
And if I can, I mean, maybe I can't, but I can mark a fatigue instead and choose to hammer them with your blows, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue.
Don't
Would
you
I be able to-
also? Wouldn't you also get an extra fatigue because
Yeah.
of his thing?
So regardless, when you attack him,
Yeah.
you're going to mark 1 fatigue on yourself. But you can choose to take a second fatigue to force him to take 2 fatigue or inflict another condition.
I will, because I'm leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna gang up with her because I'm also all about the striking right now. So I'm also going to strike and choose to. Are you choosing to hammer him with your blows?
Buddy.
All right, I'm doing the same thing. So together we're gonna mark 4 fatigue on them, but also
And you both will take
2.
2. Yes.
Well, let's see. Yes. Yep.
And then what does Yin do?
So torn because I still can't use my chi blocking jabs because they're learned.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to take even 1 fatigue before, and now if I do any of these attacks, I take an extra 1.
Well, against
So I think
him, you can attack the other people in the room.
Oh, okay. It's firebenders and waterbenders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'm going to strike at the firebenders.
Okay. Are you going to spend that 1 fatigue to do 2 fatigues to them?
I'm not. I'm trying to be very conservative with my fatigue because I need it later.
Okay. So that marks 1 fatigue against the firebenders. All right. So the waterbenders and the firebenders also are doing advance and attack. I will say, from this part of the exchange, the blows that you inflict on them, you both land punches on Mr. Bloodbender there, and he falls back unconscious after the hits.
Yeah.
He did have 10 fatigue.
God!
And you inflicted a lot of
Still
conditions on
Yeah.
him too. And then the ones on the side here, I'm going to have them. You know what? I'm going to have them both do pressure because upon seeing their leader, they are not going to strike. They're not immediately like fighting, but rather they're going to do pressure to intimidate you guys away from advance and attack in the next exchange because it looks like they might be ready to run away. And then we get to Ryan. If you want to roll a 2d6 and do an evade and observe, you also clear 1 fatigue.
Okay, what does that mean?
So you clear 1 fatigue and you roll 2d6 with creativity or harmony to see how many evade and observe techniques you're using.
I will use harmony. If my browser wants to cooperate. Come on, buddy.
You're doing so good. Come on.
Someone want to roll 2d6 plus 2 for me?
Sure. I've got it open anyway.
Oh. All right. Well, you can, because you got a 10 plus, you can mark 1 fatigue to use a learned technique, use 1 practice technique, or use 2 different basic or mastered techniques.
I think he's pretty frazzled from getting attacked by the bloodbender, like that tentacle. He doesn't know what bloodbending looks like, so he's like, he's about to do it to me. He's gonna bloodbend me. He's gonna blood my bend out, or bend my blood out. Yeah, he is. His shockwave is his like emergency. Everyone get away from me button.
Okay.
So he's just going to just like leap into the air when that happens. Like, preferably closer to the firebenders, because that seemed to knock him out last time. So he's going to do it again and just like bring the shepherd's crook down and use that again.
Okay. So what does that do exactly? Just mechanics wise?
Yes. Leap into the air and hurtle back to the ground, sending a massive burst of pressurized air all around you. Mark 2 fatigue. Everyone in the area, including allies, is thrown away, disengaging and becoming stunned unless they mark 4 fatigue.
Okay. So what I will say is essentially these guys have been like rounding, and after that they are planning to run. Sydney and Richard moved forward to knock out this dude. So I think only Melody's character would be affected by this on the ally side. But
It's par for the course.
I do think they get knocked away and they're totally stunned. I mean, I can mark 4 fatigue for the firebenders. They get knocked out regardless because they got 1 fatigue dealt to them. But the waterbenders are gonna get knocked away, and they're gonna plan to run out following this. They're not really willing to fight anymore because they just watched everybody else get beat up. So I think you guys are out of combat. And I think you all made it out, hurt, but standing upright.
Zeph is at 4 out of 5. Hurt.
Yin was totally
so he's just kind of
fine.
like,
Yin was totally fine until Zeph knocked her to the floor.
So yeah, we're getting
I
pulled
think
out
Zeph
of.
has done more damage to her than anybody in this campaign.
it's true. It's true.
We're getting pulled out of combat. And the mayor like sort of stands up and is just dusting himself off. Oh, you took him out. You saved me. Oh, thank God.
You're
Now we knock
welcome.
him out.
To be fair, with your all or nothing thing, I could see your character punching him.
Kind of want to.
Is
Like,
that is
actually,
that what you do and then leave?
I think so. I
Okay.
think so. Yeah. That's
You
my spin-off is I punch that guy and now I'm gonna punch him.
you give a real like there's a moment of silence and then like he gets up, he dusts himself off, he thanks you, and you can see like the smug smile starting to return to his face, and you're like, no, you don't get to win here. So you deck him hard. It goes slow-mo. You see the teeth come out of his mouth as he spins, and then you just walk out.
The mountain punched down. It's just like my vision. It all came true.
So what do you all do?
Report back to Sokka.
I think you got to do a couple things before then.
It's my only move I know.
Did we want to see if there's like a treasury or something?
Oh, you would probably. I mean, if you look around the house, yeah, there you can definitely find a vault of some sort that has money in it, and probably more plans for that, like copies that were in the factory, the same ones.
Oh, and we should probably secure the bloodbender somehow, right? Because he's not dead.
No, he's unconscious. I guess that is the biggest question. You're out of combat. There's like a relative unease between you guys, but like they're not gonna, attack you. But what do you do with the bloodbender? And do you say anything to the people, especially the rebels you just helped take over the town, before you leave?
Listen, guys, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, but we gotta go to Republic City first. They're gonna sort out everything.
We're bringing them both back with us, both the bloodbender and the mayor.
Why not? I find some rope and I start binding hands.
You know who will know what to do?
Sokka.
Taka.
Suck.
So one last thing, as you guys are leaving the town, you get to the edge of town, and you have Atka here roped up, and he is walking. He's beaten at this point. He knows he's beaten. He's not going to fight you guys. So he's walking downtrodden with you guys. But standing in front of you at the edge of the town, the familiar face that you saw when you came in.
Oh, it's her.
The healer lady.
The Elder.
So what do you all plan to do with him?
Which one?
Him. And then she points to Atka.
I mean, I don't think we were tasked with delivering justice. I think we were just trying to resort the problem as it was and report back.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really want to turn him in. I mean, he did try and kill me and bend my blood, but we all got heated up in the moment. I exploded. It's fine. It happens.
Oh, he's not a bloodbender.
What?
That's not what I heard! That's not what I heard!
He was going right for my blood, though.
Oh, don't get me wrong. He is a powerful waterbender, but he has no control over blood.
But we were
Now you
told.
tell us.
We were told
She
there was
does.
we were told there was a bloodbender here.
It's
If
not
not
him.
him, then who? My body starts jerking.
No, she looks at you all and shakes her head. Stories are good for morale. They kept the army at bay. But I would know because he's my son.
Oh. Well, he was about to do a very violent thing.
We think. I mean, it was kind of vague. I don't know exact. It was certainly violent. Seems like he kind of implied that he was gonna kill him.
Really unclear.
We couldn't take any
Really
chances. We were fairly sure he was a bloodbender.
I implore you. I do think he needs time to deal with his actions and what he's done and what he planned to do. But don't tell anybody that he is a bloodbender, because I fear with the Avatar gone, they may resort to drastic measures. And he doesn't know how to do that.
Listen, we're just gonna turn them in. Take this up with someone else. We'll treat them nice on the way to Republic City.
We'll
Good.
simply report the truth that
Yeah.
he was willing to take the revolution a step further, a step that we weren't willing to accommodate. And we'll let the justice system define what happens to him.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And she's gonna walk up to him, like take his chin in her hand, and look at him in the eyes. You did a good thing. You brought this town back to what it was. You have to control your temper. You know what happened to your father. And he like just looks all down. And she gives him a hug. And she's gonna go back towards her healer's hut. Thank you all.
I think there are some anger management classes in Republic City that we can get you in.
He doesn't respond to that. He's just like,
I'll get a list. It's okay.
okay. So, unless you guys have anything else you want to do in the village, we can cut back to Republic City for a little post cleanup.
I think we've been holding off Ryuzaki long enough to get back to his one true hero.
So
There
you
is only one true hero.
you guys get back to Republic City. You turn over Atka to the authorities, and with him, he goes willingly. He's not going to put up a fight. He knows he's been beaten, and he knows he'll probably be beaten again. He doesn't have a force with him. So this is the debriefing. At this point, you walk into the council room. They hold another closed thing, but in addition to Sokka being there, the rest of the council is now back. I forgot to grab pictures for them because I'm dumb, but there is another representative from the Northern Water Tribe that is here. Tenzin will be here. There is a representative from the Fire Nation, Zuko's direct aide, and very clearly absent, a representative from the Earth Kingdom, for reasons that you probably understand. So when you go up, Sokka is very excited, and he looks at you all. I hear there's some good news.
The best. We did exactly what you said. We investigated the bandits. We caught them. We got their leader. There was a little bit where it turned out that they had a bit of a point about some of what they were doing, and there was a mountain spirit that wasn't imitated, and a factory was blown up, but that was by the bandits, not by us. And then when things were getting too far, we shut those bandits down and got their leader.
There's a little bit of murmuring as they look to each other. So the factory was blown up that by the bandits. That doesn't sound as good. But
Well, you see, it angered the spirits. It was really just a crazy coincidence of time where the spirit was attacking, and then, one thing led to another. It's probably for the best you don't rebuild that factory, lest feel the wrath of the spirit once again.
Well, not only that, Sokka, I have been left much to contemplate, because it seems that this factory was kind of tipping outside the balance of nature. It doesn't sound like things that an avatar would be happy about. So I'm not sure what your old friend would have had to say about this, but there was lots of people who were wanting to work good, honest jobs that looked like they weren't going to be able to once the factory was kind of taken over. Not only that, but They were making weapons.
You do.
So I don't know. I don't know how much the Republic City knew about it, but we learned about that.
You do see some of them look towards the empty seat a little bit, and then they look back to you and it's like, it sounds like the right thing happened. And the bloodbender and like the whole council looks at you guys very intently.
We saw no evidence of bloodbending while we were there.
That's great. That is phenomenal. I think you guys did a great job. I think, yeah, everybody did a great job. Right? Right? Sokka's like trying to explain it to the rest of the council, and they're all like, yeah, okay, yeah. No. This is how he leads his things.
Well, Sokka said we did a good enough job. That's good enough for me.
Yin just like looks at Tenzin to see like, is he proud? Did I do good?
There's very much an approving smile there. And then, you know, the council briefly, like after everything debriefing, a couple of other questions to clear things up, they do start to disperse a little bit. Tenzin will go up to Yin and Zephyr there and put a hand on both of your shoulders. He looks to gotta show that right there. He looks to Yin first and is like, see, I knew you could handle this.
Thank you, Master Tenzin. It was the challenge of a lifetime, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I think I did you proud.
Well, I think there's going to be other opportunities to keep helping out around here. And Zephyr, is it?
Yeah. Your student was a natural out there. She really held her own.
I'm glad to hear it.
He communed with the spirit world.
Did you?
I think actually, and he's gonna kind of, I think it might have just been some kind of dream or something, you know, something I might have ate earlier in the day. You know, it got kind of crazy out there. Tensions were high. It's all fine. I'm not entirely sure why I'm here, but you know, I'm just a simple farmer, is all.
Well, Master Tenzin, he's more than that. And she like hushes her voice. He's an airbender.
Oh, I know. This was kind of a little bit of a test for you, right? The sages told me that somebody would be coming.
Oh, so you already know about that, huh?
Well, I didn't know if it was true, but it seems like it is. So, I guess we have some things to talk about.
Yeah. Listen, this is all a lot to take in, but there's one thing I learned while out there traveling with your student, meeting all these people, this big wide city, this big wide world is, well, I don't know much, and I need a lot of practice. So please don't send me out there. At least give me some training first. It was real touch and go there.
I think we can find space for another trainee.
All right.
Sokka is...
How do you make your airbender not so hot? Is my first question.
It's hot?
His is unnaturally warm.
Is there a way to just turn that off?
We're gonna cut to Lila, which I assume maybe might be starting to leave.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I almost pictured her not showing up to this, like going straight back home to, like, all right, we're picking back exactly where we left off. We're selling produce. Hello, how are you? This is how much you owe. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. Like, just dove right back into it.
So did she come to the council meeting or did she not?
I don't think she did.
Oh, okay. Well, then I still have something for you then, because
Okay.
in your absence, you're back at the cabbage soup place of your parents, and in walks in a unfamiliar to you face, but familiar to the people of Republic City. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. It's-
Sudian.
No, it's
Lynn?
not Toph. Who's the was it her daughter, right? She was the one in charge of the
Sudian.
Yeah.
Lynn's in charge of the police.
Yes, Lynn walks in. She's got her hands folded, looking at you. So why didn't you show up to the meeting?
Polite way to say I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I don't feel like I belong there. I'm sorry, who are you? Can I get you something?
She is in her uniform.
Ma'am?
And
Am I arrested? Are you gonna arrest me for not showing up? I didn't know I was required.
no, good God, I'm not gonna arrest you. But
Oh,
I think you belong there more than you think. I heard little birdie say that you delivered quite the message to that mayor, a good.
It deeply frustrating to see and both of them just completely squander it.
Well, there's good people, there's bad people, and there's dumb people. And sometimes everyone needs a little bit of guidance. And that's what we do. Some people make mistakes. And well, speaking of people squandering, I think you're letting your talents go to waste making soup.
I mean, somebody's.
So died to clean up the streets. He got get a little dirty.
That took me out. I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna take care of my family. I mean, unless that is a very valid option. This is it. So.
I think that you'll find there's good reasons to have a support group. But hey, I'm not going to pressure you. But if you find yourself looking for something else, here's my card. She throws over to you the card. I can't remember. Could Lynn metal bend?
Oh
I
my
would
god,
Yeah.
I want
assume
a
so,
metal
yeah.
bend so bad. I've
It
wanted a
is-
metal bend so bad.
I thought so. I didn't want to do it in the wrong way, but
It's
she
her
throws
whole
it.
thing. She's chief police.
That's right, yeah. So she throws it over to you, but it's not really a throw because it goes directly to you. It is a metal card with her information on it. And it lands right where it needs to in front of you.
Fuck, that's cool.
That's really fucking cool.
Let me know if you want something else in your life. And she walks out of the store.
She
And then
either wants to hire you or fuck you, but either way, you say yes.
Yes.
The final thing.
Please?
Sokka is gonna go over to Ryusaki and look at you. So, did you get a chance to use your boomerang at all?
As a matter of fact, no. I found that perhaps my instinct is dive on top of people and start wailing away.
You know, I kind of appreciate that. Because even though it's a really cool weapon, I mean, you know.
It's amazing. It's super awesome.
Sometimes you gotta know when not to use it. And I think you do know when not to use it. And let's be honest, Doug wouldn't have known when not to use it.
No, Doug wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have. No, and yeah, I like that you know that.
Oh, trust me, I didn't want Doug to come here either.
Oh, then why was the letter mistakenly sent to him?
Well, you were gonna look in his mail, right?
You knew?
I mean, yeah, it's not a big tribe.
Oh, I guess that's true. That's a really, really good point. You're a good point person, you know that?
Oh, that is why they put me in charge.
That makes sense, of course. Hey, listen, if you ever needed like an intern or like a gopher boy or assistant or something, I'm available. Just so you know, there's not much going on down there. I would be happy to, do anything that would help.
Well, now that you mention it, and that's when it starts pulling back and you can't really hear what he's saying as it leaves the council chambers and shows you Republic City. And that's where we end our game.
Yay!
I could just casually be like, this motherfucker's doing mail fraud. This is great.
I thought it was be like it was a test and you passed clearly.
With mail fraud.
You know, it's not a felony if there are no felonies.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Well, cool. That was fun. Hopefully you guys had fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I did not expect the mud monster to go flawlessly.
It rolled really well.
It is an interesting system where it's like, yeah, a single roll can really determine a huge chunk of how a thing goes.
Well, also, our decisions have so much weight. Like, if I felt, or Richard, you and I both felt that our characters would see that last encounter differently, like, we would have had player combat.
Yep.
Yeah, because you would have agreed with him more and been felt compelled to act with that principle that he was showing.
Yeah.
It's just drastically different from the way we went, and I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, just really like how like collaborative it is though too, because instead of just like, granted, I deeply appreciate an initiative order because it's like this is the structure that you will follow, children.
Yeah.
I also really like, hey guys, I have this, you have this. What's the best order? Okay, we're going to do it in this cohesive way, so it works how we want it to work, as opposed to being like, cross your fingers, here we go.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things with combat I don't like. Like, yeah, the initiative would have helped, but then also I don't really like that, like, you guys couldn't use your learn techniques unless you got a 10+.
Yeah, I would have preferred it be a thing that I expend or something, so that way I could have used it at least once.
Well, not
At
only
least it's an option.
yeah, well, not only do you need to roll the 10+, you also still need to expend a fatigue to use it. And it just seems like, why not just have it be spend a fatigue on the 7 to 9?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially because I assume it's not this way for all learned techniques, but for my chi blocking, like, that involves spending a fatigue. So even if I rolled high enough, I would have to spend a fatigue to use it, just to have it as an option, and then spend another fatigue to actually use it.
Yeah. Resources.
Well, and then the thing on top of that is that, like, a technique being learned almost doesn't really have that much meaning because as soon as you use it once in combat, it becomes practiced.
Oh.
Hmm.
It's just a
Yeah,
bizarre.
that is interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to run these first two like by the book. I think I
Yeah.
would change things in the future. 'Cause-
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why my shockwave is like, how do I have all these things mastered? But I used it once and it's like, good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why.
didn't your thing, because you had the dual heritage, didn't it just give you 2 mastered techniques?
I thought it was one learned, but when I was looking at it, I don't remember changing it. So it something must have happened.
Maybe. Yeah. So there's all that. I guess real quick, just because we didn't do this last time in the call, and I guarantee you guys would get advancement from this, but we can answer those questions that
Yeah,
you
let's do
guys have on
Oh, yeah.
growth. So,
Where do we go to that in our sheets?
there
Growth.
should,
Growth.
yeah. So, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world in this session?
I
Sometimes
mean,
both sides of the war suck.
yeah, I definitely think he learned that there are problems that are way more complicated than just attacking.
Yeah. I would say that's a definite yes for all of you. I think that probably that one should, to make an interesting campaign, I feel like that should be answered every session.
At
We
least every
learned
couple
nothing.
Yeah. What's that, Ryan?
It should like not like every time, but like pretty often.
Yeah.
You know.
Second question, did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I think absolutely yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
So I think some of you may have yes in this. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center? So
Uh,
I
not,
mean, I definitely moved away from stability.
yeah, I do think, didn't somebody guide in comfort? Yeah,
Yeah,
when,
did.
when you did
Yeah.
the spirit thing. So,
You guided me towards balance. I am back in the middle, so I am ending the session at my center currently.
so that happens for you, and then also Yin, because you guided him, that was your action. You also say yes to that question.
So
Interesting.
I'm already at 4 growth because I had 2 yeses from last session. So do I gain the advancement and then continue adding growth, or is it just
Yes.
I reach the advancement? Okay.
Yeah, I would say you.
Oh, were we supposed to do this at the end of the last session too?
Yes, that's I put the questions in there last time
Oh shoot!
in
I'm
the
sorry.
Facebook chat. But I think everybody,
Yeah.
I think everybody got at least 1 from the last session.
Yeah, I definitely got 1 from the last one.
I do think, Sydney, because you lost your balance, you technically move your center towards risk by 1.
I'm now at risk +1.
Okay.
And
cool.
I made progress towards my goal against my adversary, Sokka himself.
Yeah, so all of you have your playbook specific ones, which I'm curious if anybody answered yes to those.
I think mine is a
I
yes
agree.
now. It was sort of like half before, but now I think it's a full yes. That did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens or help an ordinary person with their problems? I think we helped the community.
Yeah, I think that's a yes.
Did
Anybody-
you resolve an issue or conflict relying on something other than your training?
I think there's a little bit of yes there because, well,
I mean, I was thinking like with the getting spiritual guidance, like,
yeah.
you know, not feeling like he's like the real deal, and then going outside and getting a new insight in how it's like, oh, like this is how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, mark a yes for that as well. Sydney, do you know what your playbook question is?
Did you honestly and openly express a strong emotion? Is punching a strong emotion?
I think absolutely that's a yes. Everyone saw a side of you that was very different than the
I did it.
reserved nature. So everybody
I like
said,
how this just all goes back to punching.
yeah,
That's
you
it.
know.
I just end up playing angry characters.
So everybody said yes to their playbook question. I think that means that everybody got at least one advancement, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
I got,
Yep.
just
Awesome.
barely got one advancement.
Fun.
So that means that you can use, you can upgrade your character in one of several ways. Let's see. Where is it? So I don't think any of you want to change playbooks, but I mean, I don't know if we'll play this in the future. Maybe you want to. But
There is a thing called Bonzu Pip and Paddle Opiscopolis the Third.
Pedalopsicopsilus.
what is that?
When you trick an NPC by assuming a silly disguise or fake identity, mark insecure to treat your role as if it were a 12 plus.
Okay.
Jesus. The Third.
So
I accidentally made it look like I used 2 advancements, but I only used 1 because I hit back.
oh, okay.
But it says I took 2, but I only took 1. But anyway.
You
Oh, I
can
see.
remove them once they're on, I think.
So by an advancement, you can choose one of the 5 things. I thought you got all
Yes.
of the 5 things.
No, yeah. You choose one of the 5 things, so you can either take a new move from your playbook, take a new move from any other playbook, raise a stat by 1, shift your center by 1 step, or if you are perfectly balanced, unlock your moment of balance, which gives you a very powerful move that you can use during play.
At least on my screen, some of those seemed like they take 2 advancements to completely do.
So it's actually how many times you can do that per playbook.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can take 2 new moves from your playbook, 2 new moves from another playbook, raise your center by 1 step twice. You can raise your stats as many times as you want to get to +2, and unlock your moment of balance twice before the game is like, you probably have explored everything there is in this particular arc for your character, that playbook. Maybe you should go to another one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I went with a stat raise.
Oh, there it is.
I was thinking about that, but now I'm thinking about more moves. Because I can't do over 2 per stat.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to fix my -1 in focus.
Now it's flat 0.
Yep.
Yep.
I added. Oh, okay. I finally found it. It's under moves and features. Okay. I added punch where it matters. When you assess the situation, you can always ask who or what here is most vulnerable to me. Even on a miss, remember to take +1 ongoing to act in accordance with the answer.
Ah, interesting. So you can tell, and the way that that's worded, it's not even necessarily a combat thing either. You can just tell who you would be more effective with a certain plan against.
Yep, because it says who or what here is most vulnerable to me.
Yeah.
So if I were to combine that with my walls can't stop me, it'd be like, where's the wall most vulnerable?
That's really good. So cool. I don't know if you guys have any other questions or anything else. I don't know.
I
These
think if I were to play another session, I'd probably want to pick a bender next time.
Okay.
But this is still really cool to figure out.
Yeah. Cool. I don't have anything else to say.
I'm keeping Mudcop forever. That's it.
I do have an
Mudcap.
idea for a longer campaign if we ever wanted to revisit it. I do think I would want to homebrew in some rules and figure out combat a little bit better specifically, and maybe figure out more specific rules or at least situations for the moves. Because I feel like sometimes they're so open-ended, I'm not sure when to have you guys do them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I can understand that.
Anyway. Yep.
Well, thank you, Artem. This was awesome.
Yeah, this is a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I'm really appreciate you got a chance to crack this open because I've been sitting looking at this book for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
waiting for a chance to play it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
had the
seriously, it takes a lot to learn how to DM it. It's hard enough for us to figure out playing it, but to learn how to DM it, it's way harder.
For sure.
it's definitely fun. It's definitely different. I do. It does make me want to explore more storytelling systems.
Yeah, I'd be curious what other storytelling kind of systems there are.
Angela! Man.
All right.
Shit.